Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zymus, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday Flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be of about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seatbelt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's happening? Welcome to Weird Wednesday yet again. How's it going, Jamie?
It's going.
It's
Blessed
going.
embolic.
My comments are again dragging ass here in StreamYard. I don't know why. I think it's just on my end, though.
No, it's mine too.
Just makes it hard to get all the comments up on the screen when I don't know if they're showing up or not.
And I can't technically, I can see the Twitch, but I can't chat on the Twitch because I never logged myself back in.
You got the Twitch. Yeah, I never know if we're live on Twitch or not. I just gave up.
Yeah.
Anyways, I can always tell if we're live when we get some kind of whack ass comment. I'm like, oh yeah, we must be on Twitch.
Exactly.
How has everybody in the chat room been doing this week? We had some strangeness going on. Well, not strangeness, but just some, well, yeah, a little bit of strangeness going on in my hometown this past week.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. We had several like road rage incidents that like people just lost their freaking minds. And
in Florida?
Can you believe it? Yeah. You know, normal, sunny, calm, little
chill.
Quiet. People have gone just, a little batshit crazy. I don't know what it is. Yeah, the road rage around here has gotten out of hand. Right down the road from my house here the other day on State Road 16, some people like got into it and they were like ramming the cars into each other, and one of them's truck flipped in the middle of the road, and it happened up on US 1, and people done lost their damn minds. I don't know. Yeah, the traffic is getting insane, Debbie, and it's definitely making people crazy. I hate driving anywhere now. Not to mention I can't see very good. So I was telling Jamie.
It's starting to sound like California.
Yeah. Yeah. I was out there and I used to go out there every year or so. I was actually thinking about going again. but then that involves getting on a plane, and I don't know. But I was in Huntington Beach, and I had a free day, and I was like, I'm going to go to LA. So, jumped in the old rental car and started making my way to LA and got in all that traffic. And I was like, holy shit, this ain't for me.
And that's like the worst. Like we have like really, really bad commute traffic, but down south, it's like that constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like in, whatever it is, 6 lanes of traffic. And I'm like, where am I going? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And people are looking at me like they want to murder me. But I made it to LA and I hung out for a couple hours and then I left. I was like, no, not for me.
Yeah. You'd like Pismo. You would really like Pismo Beach, where the sand dunes are out here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely places out there that I still want to see.
There's still places out here I want to see.
Yep.
Okay. I think I'm good everywhere else now. Now we're just a little bit desensitizing right now.
Yeah, there's geez, what else happened here?
Oh yeah.
We had the crazy road rage incidents, and then there was over the last weekend there was a couple of Hillsborough County deputies that were found dead in a vacation rental home here in St. Augustine last Saturday night. And it was apparently a couple that came here on vacation and, got the little B&B place or whatever, air, whatever they're called. And I don't know, got in a fight. And I guess it says that the investigation found that Detective Daniel Layden was the shooter, having killed his romantic partner before shooting himself. The motive is still under investigation. So, yeah, a couple of deputies came here and I guess got in a scrap. And, well, now they're both dead, which sucks. But we were talking about that earlier today. The people that rent this Airbnb.
Airbnbs, yeah.
Is it gonna help or hinder, because now it's like the murder house. So
They're pushing them commercials on TV now. I've noticed. Like, have you seen like they're like, oh, we're strangers aren't so strange, and they look like Sasquatches in there at first, like strange people, and then they walk out and they look like a family,
yeah.
But they're really pushing the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And with my paranoid, untrusting mind, now with anything anybody's suggesting or wanting you to do, I'm thinking, well, I already, like, what's the angle? What's the angle? Why? It's like I'm doing opposite of anything you're putting on TV.
Yeah. So then after that unfortunate accident, I don't know if it was a planned thing or what. I don't know the whole details on it. But yeah, after that there's let's see if I can pull this guy's picture up. Here's some more local news. This guy lives here. He's, probably not going to be, too happy that I'm sharing this picture, but well, shouldn't have done what he did. This guy was St. Augustine Beach Police Chief Ernesto Torres called him 29 times after his wife's arrest. And Mr. Torres here he's one of the beach city commissioners. And it was one of those cases where they're coming home after, get together or whatever, night out, him and his wife, and got pulled over because the wife was kind of swerving around. She had been, have a few drinks. And he pulled the old, do you know who I am? to the cops. which is never a good thing to do. And it kind of escalated from there with, "Do you know who I am?" And the cops were basically like, "I don't really give a damn who you are." And yeah, so then he apparently says he called the deputy. Let's see what the little article here says. Crazy. More details emerged regarding the DUI arrest of Ernesto Torres' wife, Nicole, which prompted St. Augustine Beach Police St. Augustine Beach Commissioner to resign Monday on allegations of unethical behavior, which is probably the best thing he could have done, was just say, "Hey, got out of control. Sorry, I'm bowing out. I'm resigning." Because, how's he going to sit on a board now? "Do you know who I am?" The record obtained a copy of correspondence between the San Augustine Beach Police Chief Daniel Carswell and Lex Taylor, the city's attorney, about the January 22nd incident in which Torres is accused of trying to use his elected position to gain favor with local officers. Didn't really work. Goes on a little bit more about it, but now, he's apologized and he's resigned, and, well,
Seems to be a lot of that going on right now.
yeah, I mean, drinking and driving, it'll get you in trouble. And, sometimes, I mean, if you just got, just a little bit of buzz going, I mean, the cops around here, they're pretty cool, I mean, as long as you're cool, they're pretty cool. But if you're like slurry and being a dick, well, good times are not in store for you, apparently. Which, it's probably good that his drunk wife wasn't driving the rest of the way home. Apparently she was pretty swilled.
Yeah. And then trying to pull the whole, who I am right off the bat. Like,
Yeah. That's never a good thing to do. I mean, if the cop is like, "Hey, aren't you, if they recognize you, well, then you can, yeah, and maybe they'll cut you a break." But if you just come out of the flying like a dickhead, and it's never going to end good.
Or when they see your license and ID and it's like, "Oh,
yeah,
this is so-and-so."
Yeah, just to come, barrels ablazing right at them. "You know who I am?" "Hey, yeah, you're some asshole.
Going to be arrested soon.
Exactly. Assume the position, jackass.
Damn.
Yeah, not a good night. But yeah, there's been all kinds of crazy little activity like that around my town here in the last week or two. The road rage is like, I've seen some of it myself, and I've even been tempted to be in some of it myself, but I've maintained. I've like no, breathe,
Pull yourself back.
Yep, refrain from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I've been, I don't know, maybe I'm getting older. I think about it more. Like, shit, I could have a heart attack doing this.
Or I'm really going to hurt somebody.
That's
this is going to be that moment that I'm going to wish I would have thought about it.
Yeah.
I've noticed over the last couple of years, because of this stuff, I'm just going reverse, because I always think, okay, you can only take so much. So when you're, how do you know when you're really about to snap? When people snap, do they know they're about to snap, or does it just happen?
Yeah.
And, I started feeling myself getting that way with stuff, or, like everybody. But surprisingly, I've been going the other direction. The more insane stuff's getting, the more calm it is, and people are, "Well, no, that's you just getting numb to it." I'm like, well, regardless, I'm not on an overpass with my 223, so yeah.
I think it just the more crazy stuff that happens nowadays, I think, yeah, we're just getting more and more used to it, and it's not like a huge surprise anymore. It's like, oh yeah, I was waiting for that to happen.
And when people freak the hell out, it's like I just get out of their way. Carry on.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
So today is Groundhog Day, and the Pennsylvania hog said 6 more weeks of winter. He saw his shadow. The other hog, and I can't remember which state that is or his name, did not see his shadow, so he says spring. I'm guessing I'm still going with what I said like a week ago. I think we're going to have an early spring. So my money's not going to be on this little dude here, but the other hog.
Is this Puxatawny Phil? Is that his name?
Yeah, that's like the main one. But look at his little face. Like, what's he thinking?
He's like, damn, when are they going to give me my treat and let me get the hell out of here?
And go back in my hole.
Yep.
So yeah, what do you guys think? An early spring or 6 more weeks of winter?
You know, for Florida, I know everybody up north is like, oh, you're such a wuss. But hey, for Florida, man, it got damn cold the other night. It got down to like 28 or something. Scraping ice off the car, you know, that just ain't cool. But, you know, today, I mean, I'm driving around with the air conditioner on in the car, so goes up, comes down. It's that Florida. Hey, you know, Mother Nature's like, hey, hold my sweet tea. I'll show you all seasons in a week. Never know what you're going to get.
You never know. Like Debbie mentioned in there, don't forget, you know, the crazy weather and falling iguanas. I said the iguana sickles.
Yep.
But yeah, we've been like really close in weather. Normally, like if it's one way here on your side, it's like the, you know, opposite.
Yeah, you'll send me your weather and I'm like, oh, got you by 1 degree.
Yep. We were like very close the other night.
Yeah, the wind was like 1 mile off. The temperature was 1 degree off.
It's like, that's really weird. But the weather's gotten weird. Oh, these heating bills are going to be even worse, especially if you're out here. They've raised all the electricity and stuff in California. It's really bad.
Yeah. Well, hopefully my electricity bill and water bill goes down because I finally put a new water heater in after months of not having hot water.
That first shower was probably so nice.
Oh, man, it was good. I'm going to take one after the show tonight, and I'm actually looking forward to it. Yeah, that first one was, it was pretty blissful. I just like got all done in the shower, and then I just turned the water on hotter and just stood there for a few minutes.
That's what I thought. That's what I figured you would do.
Yeah. Yeah, before it was like, get in, get wet, wash my hair, use the soap, you know.
Like a horse bath.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And then, okay, God, get in the water, get it over with and jump out. Yeah. It's the little things, you know, like hot water you take for granted. When you don't have it, wow.
And washing your hair in the hot water makes such a difference. Like just the feeling of like the hot water in your hair.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the first time in months my hair actually felt like it was washed and clean.
And not all like fuzzed out.
Yeah.
When my hair was like pink or red the last color I used was really bad. Like every time I would wash, you know, it would just bleed out, keep bleeding out till it washed out. And so there'd be pink shit everywhere. So I'm like, you know what? Instead of trying to bleach the bathroom and the curtain, get a new curtain every time, just wash my hair in the back with a hose. So it's like time to wash my hair, go out there and stand over the rocks and use the hose and shampoo it and do all that.
Yeah.
And then once, I changed it and I could take a shower or wash my hair in the shower again, it's like, oh. Well, and then the other one, since that was a quickie, did you want to pull up the clip of the SpaceX or UFO?
Sure, it's SpaceX. Nothing to see here. Move along. Move along.
I was reading through the comments and one person, and I didn't get a chance to verify it, but somebody else said it wasn't from our launch though, but they said, even though they're saying it's from, this one, that China had shot a rocket like that same day or something, and that's what it was from.
Hmm.
And we're talking about the pattern that we had never seen anything like that before. And then one of the guys in comments, and I have it like in the back of the slideshow, he said, years back there was something similar over Norway, and it was a YouTube video that he took a screenshot of, but I don't know. You guys decide. Reports of UFO sightings in Greene County have been verified as a SpaceX rocket. And these are all pictures that people took, just different people took, and they were posting on a Facebook page yesterday. And then today I happened to find an article about it when I was looking. And then like on the videos, you could hear people talking and they're like, what is that? Is that a meteor? And, blah, 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 trying to figure it out while it was happening. So January 31st, 2022, will go down in history. One moment. As the same day Oklahoma was struck by an earthquake, and Oklahoma had an earthquake, and citizens witnessed what was believed to be a UFO. There have been several posts on social media with photos and videos of a moving light with a halo in the skies of Greene County Monday evening. Fox 23's meteorologist Laura believes that the sighting is actually the SpaceX Cosmo SkyMed rocket launch. Based on the SpaceX live stream, this rocket would have flown very close to Oklahoma, stated Mock. Didn't they say the Ozarks?
I thought.
Yeah, the first one I had said the Ozarks. Maybe this is just the one I had was from the Ozarks, and then this happens to be an ad, and people in Oklahoma saw the same thing.
Yeah, Kim said it was seen in Springfield, Missouri, too.
Okay, well, okay, okay, how would they still see the vapor like that if it's not near the launch?
I don't know. I mean,
Or is it when the rocket separates and that's what they're like?
I mean, this is the actual launch the other day from here, and it left a trail here. There's a trail here. You can kind of see the rocket up there, sort of. Not really, but kind of right there. And, this weird orange ball like fell out of the sky, but I didn't see any kind of weird, vapor trail looking craziness like what this is. This is completely different looking.
Yeah, and that slideshow actually has like different pictures in it, different people's perspectives of it. The Falcon 9 rocket launched from Cape Canaveral after 6 p.m. carrying Italian satellites, which will be used for Earth imaging. Looks like Elon is at it again. They said other people are like, oh, it's Elon, ripping a hole into the matrix and Is
Yeah.
that not playing? Or,
Not yet. No.
oh, I thought it was messed up. Because the beginning one's actually a piece of a video from some people, and then I added like the pictures. Did any of you guys
Now it's playing.
see it?
I mean, you know, it could be, but I don't know. I mean, that's pretty. That's pretty weird looking.
And I don't know, there's these launches all the time. And, I don't watch every single one, but I've watched a good bunch of them. And I haven't seen anything like that myself. And, like, I could see if you were under it and it was doing something, and if the wind was like a certain way, like possibly it could like make that but I feel like you'd have to be like under it, where it looks like people are like looking at it, like
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense to me. See, like that's over the trees, they're not like looking up, it's like out. And
Yeah.
that's a YouTube one of the 12-year ago Norway.
Yeah. It was a weird looking rocket launch the other day, just in general. It didn't, I don't know, it didn't look like the others that I've seen from here. But supposedly there was one today, but I was going to go out to the beach and try to.
There was, and it's a spy satellite.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to try to go snap some pictures of it today. And then I got busy at the eye doctor.
Getting those peepers checked.
Yep. Yep. Getting some new glasses.
Oh, Royal said he's seen one like that with the spirals in China.
I've seen the weird ones that have like a point and a big, I don't know. It almost looks like a sperm or something.
Yeah.
It's like got a big head and a tail, and I mean I've seen those, and they're weird looking, but I mean yeah, that's a rocket or part of a rocket or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. This one looks like a portal to hell or something.
Yeah. And there's a few people that mentioned the same, like how you mentioned it kind of looked weird for a second. You guys got kind of nervous. Other people said that too. They're like, there was something weird about the way
Yeah.
it looked.
Weird. I mean, we were watching it go up, and then it looked like it just stopped. It looked like it was just staying stationary, and my buddy Tom was like, something's not right. And then we saw this big orange ball like falling out of the sky, and I'm like, whoa, that's kind of weird. But apparently, we were watching it live, with our eyes, and then we were watching it live on on the phone as well, and they weren't saying anything was wrong. So I'm like, I guess it's all good. But yeah, the one they shot up today was like another 50 Starlink satellites, and then the spy satellite.
Well, I thought like Monday was, or the first was the like 46 or 40, whatever set. Wait, one day was one satellite, then the other day was like a bunch.
Yeah.
And then today, yeah, and then the special spy one today.
Just what we need, more spy satellites. How many cameras are actually up there looking down at us?
Shit.
There's no such thing as privacy anymore.
No. Definitely not. I completely blanked on what I was going to say.
Speaking of weird things in the sky, mysterious red trails captured on camera in North Carolina. And these are pretty weird. There was a video on this. It's you can look up the video on it, but it shows like regular contrails and stuff from planes. And these trails were like, well, you can see them, how they're like, some of them were complete circles and other things. Says artist photographer Wes Snyder captured a time-lapse recording of the trails while filming the night sky. The phenomenon, which was filmed by a camera overlooking the Ocean Pursuit shipwreck at Nags Head, North Carolina, appears as a series of red circular patterns in the sky to the right of the frame. The footage shows a number of regular aircraft trails for comparison. Each individual image recorded on time-lapse with a 10-second exposure with approximately 1 second between them. He says, I've caught thousands of plane trails and never had any of them look like this, so I'm certain they are not your typical aircraft. I've caught these trails before in several other time lapses, but I've yet to figure out what kind of plane possibly has these capabilities. Whatever they are, they have some incredible maneuverability. According to Snyder, the footage was recorded between 8 and 10 p.m. The phenomenon was visible in the sky for about 20 minutes. Despite the peculiar nature of the recording, however, Snyder has not jumped straight to an extraterrestrial explanation. My bet is that it's some sort of military aircraft training over the Pamlico Sound. All I want to know is how I can get a ride in whatever it was. But yeah, he was, like I said, there's a video of the time lapse, and you can see these things taking form, and you see, like, in other parts of the sky and up higher, you see planes and stuff going by, and they don't leave anything like what these are. So it's weird. Color was different. The shape's obviously different. And who knows? Military, experimental craft, aliens, who knows?
I'm trying to think. I watch the Sky Riders all the time out here.
Yeah.
The contrails.
Yeah.
And there was a day where there was a weird kind of thing like that, and I thought it was one of the smaller planes because we're kind of by an airport. I thought, what, did a plane like flip a bitch? Because it didn't make sense the way it went like that. Because it was kind of something like that. And I have seen planes. I saw a Southwest plane the day they had all those like flight cancellations. We're like watching over. You could see the Southwest plane. You could hear the engine like stop, and like all of a sudden, like the plane starts turning. We're like, what the hell? And it goes and flips a bitch and goes the other way. I'm like, maybe their flight was canceled.
Yeah. Weird.
Okay. I'm getting back into my messenger. God, that sea worm just popped up again. It's the last thing I put in my file, so it's like the first thing I see. Oh, the nearly 200 human spines have been found threaded onto posts in Peru.
Well, that's stranger than your average day hobby.
Yeah. Almost 200 examples of human spines threaded onto reed posts have been discovered in Peru, revealing a unique way of treating the dead that has never previously been documented in the region, according to a new study. An international team of researchers working in the Chincha Valley on Peru's southern coast found the majority of the vertebrae on posts, in quotes, vertebrae on posts, in large indigenous graves known as chulpas, which date back hundreds of years around the time that European colonizers were present in the South American country. Of the 192 spines found on posts in the region, archaeologists found that in almost every case, they were made from the remains of a single individual, according to the study. It appears that adults and juveniles in the indigenous community were the ones chosen for this unique practice, and according to researchers, the vertebrae on posts are thought to have been created between 1450 and 1650 as the Inca rule came to an end and European colonization became widespread and dominant in the region. Jacob L. Bongers, lead author of the study, that is a rockin' name, said this particular period was turbulent in the history of Chincha Valley as epidemics and famines killed local people. Before the end of the arrival of the Europeans, the Chincha Valley had been home to the Chincha Kingdom from 1000 to 1400 and had been established and had even established an alliance with the powerful Inca Empire. But as European colonizers swept into the region, the population, I can't even pronounce that right now, as it declined from more than 30,000 heads of household. So, analysis of the spines on the post suggests that they might have been created to repair the damage done to the dead by looting, the study said. So yeah, spines on posts.
Yeah. Hey.
Where's the rest of them though?
Yeah. Vertebrae on a stake. Exactly.
Because when they said spines, and I'm looking at that, I'm like, that looks like a shish kebab, not a spine.
Maybe
But I guess because they'd fall apart.
Yeah. Maybe they roasted them. Who knows? Who knows?
Like rib meat.
Yeah. Human torso on a steak. Get your meat on a stick.
I could segue you into the other one by saying a lot of stuff washing up weird right now.
Yeah.
Being unearthed right now.
Yeah. Might as well go to that one. We'll jump the track a little bit.
Thanks to Miss Debbie.
Yep.
And what I wanted to say earlier, when we were talking about the spiral, was, weird things in the sky. And then Debbie had such a beautiful picture that she put up earlier. The heart, the cloud that looked like a heart, and it had the rainbow flare around it and the chakras, and it was very beautiful.
Well, now we go from beautiful to thousands of penis fish wash up on a California beach. I guess it could be beautiful in its own right?
Well, she's holding it so delicately.
So delicately. And when I say thousands of them washed up on the beach, where is it at?
Of course, Mother Nature's going to throw like a bunch of dicks at us, right?
Now, that's a bunch of them right there. That's a lot of them. Imagine walking through that.
No way.
Take
Which beach is that?
Yes.
That's down, I think, near here. What beach is that?
It is.
That looks almost like my beach area.
Let's see. I had to jump here, so where am I at?
Okay, so the ocean threw up a bunch of crabs and all that, and starfish and stuff. Like, what was it, like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And then it barfed up all the jellyfish, and now just barfed up a beach full of sea dick.
Yeah, sea dick. Sea dick run. Sea dick wash up. Thousands of these marine worms, called innkeeper worms or penis fish, were found on Drake's Beach last week. These phallic organisms are quite common along the west coast of North America. You got a lot of dicks out there in California. but they spend
Oh yeah.
their whole lives in a U-shaped burrow under the sand. So few beachgoers are aware of their existence and walk over them on every day. You're walking on dicks. A recent storm in Northern California brought strong waves that washed away several feet of sand from the intertidal zone, leaving all of these fat innkeeper worms or penis fish exposed on the surface. Next time you go to the beach, just think about the hundreds of 10-inch pink sausages wiggling around just a few feet under your feet. A storm lifted the shoreline to expose these worms. And, well, there you go. Thousands of dick-shaped worms washed up on the beach.
So normally, like, they are at the bottom of the ocean, and like the bulb, like that one picture that she was holding, actually looks like it has like a bulb at the bottom. I guess where it sticks in the sand.
Yep.
But it looks like, of course, like a little ball sack.
Yep.
And so the bottom of the ocean, then they stand up like feather dusters, you know. So there's all these like waving dicks on the bottom of the ocean. I was telling her it was funny that she had sent that because I was thinking about it when I posted that thing about, you know, how food looks like the parts of your body. It helps, like carrots look like your eyes, cut carrots and all that. And then I was thinking how nature had us set. Then I'm like, but nature has like a wicked sense of humor because of the, you know, the penis fish and the penis fly traps. It's like they knew that. It's like, come on, there'd be no other reason. Like, why God did you make a penis? Come on.
Yep.
So Mother Nature definitely has a sense of humor because Dick Party Beach.
Yeah.
Debbie says, show the one with the sack. I gave you that. Do you that little collage one, or
Let me see if I can pull it back up.
I think that's the one in her hands that she's holding so eloquently. And they are a delicatessen. You know, it's considered. You know, people eat these.
Yep.
There's a girl on TikTok who's kind of famous for it.
Yes.
She smacks them.
Yeah.
And then they spray out kind of like a sea anemone does. No comment. And then she bites the head off, and it's pretty wicked.
So, yeah, I mean, when they say, you know, they say these are a delicacy. So when somebody says eat a bag of dicks, I mean, you literally
eat a literal bag of dicks.
I mean, there you go. I mean, wow, Mother Nature is it's a weird one at times.
Gotta keep it, you know. Oh yeah, there it is. And then when it's like, come on, man. Like, you can't get closer. I mean, the penis fly traps looked, you know, when you look at the picture, it's like, oh, that, you know, that looks like a magazine, like a picture of, you know. But that looks really bad.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out why Jeff Bezos' rocket that he made looked like a dick. I mean, yeah.
Oh, you know why?
I mean, you know, it's like, didn't anybody like along the plans drawing that up? Didn't anybody go, hey, man,
who do you think drew it up? A guy.
Looks like a dick, man. Was Bezos like, yeah, that's intended to look like a dick. It not only looks like a dick, it is a flying dick.
It's a dick launcher.
Dick launcher. Hi, Dick Launcher reporting live from space. Yeah. Wow.
My mom said, when I said the two rockets were ready to go the other day, she goes, the penis one?
Yeah. Exactly. Space dildo.
It makes me think of like, remember Ambiguously the Gay Duo? Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And that car that they would drive that looked like a dick.
Yeah.
And I always think there's certain cars, I can't think off the top of my head right now, that it's like, if you really think about it, someone designed that to kind of be like dick shaped, like
yeah. I was
big dick energy.
I was in the car today and I was like in traffic and I can't remember the name of the company, but it's like a local, like a maid service or whatever. And I'm looking at the back window, you know, they got a sticker on the back window. And I'm like, when I first looked at it, I'm like, that looks like a dick. And it was like, it was supposed to be like, you know, like wiping something. You kind of like the Amazon logo, kind of looks like a dick, you know? That's the way the sticker looked on the back of the car. And I'm like, did they do that intentionally? It's like, well, we're maids. We'll come clean up your mess from your dick. I don't know.
Wait, what Amazon logo looks like a dick?
You know, just the regular.
The smile?
Let me pull it up.
The little arrow?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess it does.
Kinda, you know. Or maybe I'm just, you know.
I always thought it was a smile, but now I realize there's not two of the little smiley
Yeah.
end things. Dick in a box.
Oh man, my computer's just not wanting to cooperate.
No, I think it's done on purpose because they know exactly subliminal messages and space dildo.
I mean, you know, the little yellow part there. I mean, kind of, you know, boing, little dickhead right there.
I mean, yeah. Now I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Maybe it was meant to be a smirky smile. Or maybe they just said, hey, it kind of looks like a dick. Hey, let's go with it. Everybody will like that.
It's a smirky smile and it's a dick at the same time. He is a dick. Thank you for sending it, Debbie.
Yep.
You gave me a good laugh today. What's you got? What's you got? See, I'm finally starting to get juiced up from my Red Bull. Then I'm going to be like by the end, and then I won't be able to go to sleep.
What do I have? What's next? Well, I have this. This isn't really an article, but I figured I'd share it anyways. It's just a, you know, picture. There's the Poltercom Pico that I ordered from, you know,
And cow shit.
that Jeremy Jones jerk off. Yeah, it's sitting in a big pile of shit, and that's pretty much what I summed it up to be.
Where did that come from?
I made it.
Oh,
Yeah, a little Photoshop. Yeah, do I have it? No, I still don't have it. Ordered it over 2 years ago. Still don't have it.
and so who makes these again? What's his name?
Jeremy Jones is his name. From what the hell's his company? God, I can't even think of it now. I put it out of my brain.
Not Poltercom. I mean, that's the other box.
Yeah, that's the Poltercom Pico, and it's from Paranologies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Peckerweed Pico.
I saw someone the other day
I'm a
posted,
little bitter.
posted their session with it.
Yeah, I was hoping to use it, but not so much anymore.
So definitely think twice before purchasing anything from him. People have gotten their stuff, but I noticed around the time that you didn't get yours, he picked up another project and made a whole other thing. And I think it's really bad customer service when you take because he has your money, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it says, in the fine print that there's no refunds, and they're all made by hand, and they'll take a long time. Fuck that. It's been over fucking 2 years. It's been plenty fucking long enough. God can kiss my ass. There. Yeah, get me started on that fucking kook. It's a small world. I'll run into him one of these days. Yeah, now you go to his website, and the latest update was like, oh, if you ordered and you haven't got it, we may have lost your order. Well, that's fucking great business, Please reply with your order number and everything. It's one
Did you?
Or another. Not yet. I will.
Should do it.
Yeah, that guy's.
So you have a record at least of his bullshit, and then you did then try to do your side of it. Yeah. I didn't know he was still updating people on that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not really updating people. He just put the update on his website. That is basically just another excuse. Dude, get your shit together. But like I say, it's a small world.
It is a small world. And yeah, Coast got eyes everywhere. Because you know what I said I was going to do. I just haven't yet because I needed his links and I haven't done that.
Yeah.
But I've got my I can pull out and be a Karen when I realize, when I need to pull out my bitch card and be a Karen. Yeah. I can do it. And it's caring too much about whatever they're screwing me over about or screwing someone else over about.
Yeah. We'll move on to Stranger Things. Is
alien hammerhead flatworms? Oh.
Got a SpaceX rocket that will crash into the moon in March. Just damn moon's in the way, I guess. It's not often that sudden appearance of a new impact crater on the moon can be predicted, but it's going to happen on March 4th. God, they got it nailed down to a date, like March 4th.
I tried to find it on the app, too, to figure out which rocket body it might be.
Yeah, it's the derelict SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. It will crash into the moon on March 4th. That's predicted anyway. The rocket launched in 2015 carrying NASA's Deep Space Climate Observatory probe into a position 1.5 million kilometers from the Earth, facing the sun. But the extended upper stage of the rocket had insufficient speed to escape into an independent orbit around the sun, and it was abandoned without an option to steer it back to Earth's atmosphere. This would be normal practice, allowing stages to burn up on re-entry, thus reducing the clutter in near-Earth space caused by dangerous junk. Since February 2015, the 14-meter-long derelict upper stage rocket part, massing nearly 4 tons, has been therefore in a wide orbit around the Earth. Its precise movements have been hard to predict because it was influenced by lunar and solar gravity as well as Earth's gravity. But now we can tell it's going to hit the moon on March 4th at a speed of about 2.6 kilometers per second. This will make a crater about 19 meters in diameter, a prospect that has provoked outrage in social media circles from people who are appalled that human negligence will disfigure the moon in this way. And then, they go on to say, however, other rockets, other space junk has hit the moon in the past, and big deal. They're basically kind of blowing it off. But I don't know,
I wonder if it will ring like a bell.
It could. And you know what? Speaking of that, people have been hearing all these noises and stuff. The other day, I heard just a little bit west of me, people were, asking about, hey, did anybody hear those 3 large booms, And people were saying, oh, it was SpaceX re-entering the atmosphere. It was this, it was that, and they're talking about the military base that's west of here is, doing practice stuff and this and that. Well, like today, I'm sitting here and I was on the computer. I was talking to Sam. We were like texting back and forth, and I hear this like this huge rumbling noise, and it like shook my house, and I'm thinking, holy shit, what was that? And then Sam texted me and she was like, holy shit, what was that? Did you hear something? And I'm like, yeah, I did. And we live like 5 miles away from each other. So
I told you about the one we had that night, the same exact thing, that everybody thought it was close by in like a 15-20 mile radius.
Yeah. It was weird. I have no idea what it was. But yeah, there's been a lot of weird noises. Like, I mean, this, wasn't just like a bell or, somebody setting off a firework or something. I mean, this was like this big rumbling roar noise that like shook my house. Pretty weird.
See, ours didn't shake. It rumbled. You could hear the rumble, but it didn't shake. But like the street and stuff behind, their windows and stuff shook and rattled. Like, it was just really weird.
Yeah.
And I had posted about the booms. This is something that like Tyler with Secure Team has been talking about for 5 years or longer.
Yeah.
And we've talked about, maybe they're doing underground tunnels or something, like, because it was, going from coast to coast. There's a few, and we have our thoughts about that. But and then Royal mentioned that I believe his brother heard some noises like that recently also.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird.
Did the dogs act weird before or after, or?
They barked like crazy when they heard the noise. They didn't, I didn't notice them. I mean, they were in the next room. I didn't notice them doing or hear them doing anything before it. But yeah, when it happened, they were both like, rah, 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 rah.
That's crazy. Kim hears booms a lot. Yeah, Kim, I was talking to you about that on a post, I believe. Another post about it, right? See, I've been have theories about the ones that at first it's like, could it be fracking and other things? And we're by the lab, the Lawrence Livermore lab. We have Site 300 here, and crazy stuff. But when they were able to map them going like exactly across, and one of them was kind of in the area where you're missing 411 stories, kind of by the Canadian border, up that way.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, are people being like shanghaied and like thrown down to like, do some like tunnel or something? Like, are they exploding underneath?
Yeah. Who knows? Like, I know there's tons of videos. Like, if you look on YouTube, people hearing, like they always talk about what a Gabriel's trumpet or, whatever, all these weird noises. And,
I
a
haven't
lot
heard that one.
Yeah, those are real weird. And, a lot of people say it's the plates, shifting like underground and stuff. Giant miles and miles long plates like shifting, rubbing against each other that make this noise. But I don't know. There's all kinds of theories, but there's really no answers.
I can't remember like what state, but there's one state like from I can't remember, but it's normal. Like the residents and stuff like have this happen all the time, and for like nobody can figure it out. Nobody has an answer, but they say it's like a normal thing to have these explosion sounds, and their house will rumble, and it's the way it rumbles where it's not like an earthquake. It's not like this or that. It's just really weird. And it's seemed to be more like Midwest and East.
Yeah.
And so, so then it happened here, like middle 2020 maybe. And then Anthony posted one like a month or two ago, and that could be the one me and Kim were talking on.
Yeah.
Where he's outside Sacramento, Lincoln, and it was the same thing where people felt it like almost like it was right by them, but all around. It's like, and I actually thought, were there like 3 explosions that went off simultaneously? I'm like, was that one thing? Because everybody on the Ring doorbell app is we're getting the information from at the time.
Like this, I'm actually playing noises. Like this is somebody just out filming the sky and hearing this.
No, coming from the sky.
Well, coming from somewhere.
That sounds like the gates of hell.
Yeah. There's another one.
Dude, that's not plates. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's some weird stuff to be just outside and,
I've never heard these.
I'd be kind of freaking out.
I wonder if that's sometimes when people think it's Sasquatch, like if they hear that sound and thought, like, is that Sasquatch?
Yeah.
Because that could carry through a canyon.
Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, like Kim's saying, I mean, whatever this was today that I heard, I mean, it shook the whole house. I mean, I could, like, sitting here, I could feel it. Like,
oh, it was today.
Yeah, it was today, this afternoon.
Huh.
Really? Royal says that's a natural spirit box. Yeah, it's something. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's something. Yeah, way louder than a Sasquatch yell. Nature's concert, exactly. Speaking of nature, nature's got some weird ones.
Yeah, they do. So this is an alien hammerhead flatworm named after the pandemic. Scientists have discovered an alien hammerhead flatworm species that looks a bit like a miniature king cobra, or perhaps an itty-bitty snake with a mustache. The researchers found the tiny creatures hunting snails in France and Italy, and they've named the invaders after the, I don't even know if I should say it, we'll get flagged, after the pandemic, according to a new study. These new hammerhead flatworms are among 2 newly described species found in other countries that researchers believe are not part of their native range. So they were very likely introduced there by humans. Scientists dubbed the first soil-dwelling predator species Humbertium covidium, with covidium being a reference to COVID-19 as a homage to the numerous casualties of the pandemic, and because much of the 55-page study was written during lockdowns. Due to the pandemic, during the lockdowns, most of us were home with our laboratory doors closed. No field expeditions were possible. I convinced my colleagues to gather up all the information we had about these flatworms, do the computer analysis, and write this very long paper. Typically found in warm parts of Asia, hammerhead flatworms are often accidentally transported around the world by humans in soil from the plant trade. These flatworms can reproduce asexually, so one hammerhead flatworm can give birth to offspring without a mate, making it easier for them to establish themselves as an invasive species. Organisms that cause ecological or economic damage due to an environment they're not native. The flatworms were discovered in 2 gardens in southwest France and a garden in northern Italy. Although the species likely originated in Asia, some reports indicate that the species may also be in Russia, China, and Japan, according to the study. I wonder if that might be why it's called after COVID.
Don't be sending us your damn flatworms. It's funny, when I used to make skateboards several years ago, I had a model that was called the Flatworm.
You know, I was thinking about these. I think there is, yeah, that's it. When I first was looking at it, and I'm thinking, okay, we had those weird seeds and stuff, and then I thought, are they giving us worms now, like trying to get us another way, by introducing these messed up species to really screw up our stuff, throw our balance off. But what this made me think of, the way it stood up, and the one that I saw in the petri dish looked more like a maybe a mosquito, like a little alien mosquito type thing. But they were looking at the virus on a petri dish. The virus stood up like a little alien, like a parasite. And they said it actually has intelligent qualities to this parasite. And I think that's why what's that? The medicine that you took, the therapeutic?
Ivermectin.
Ivermectin, yeah. I think that's why, that helps so much too, because I believe there's some sort of a parasite in there. But, I'm not, trying to be Jamie, but I just think it's just strange.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole ivermectin thing, Joe Rogan talking about, how the ivermectin worked for him. And now Neil Young wants to, there's not room for him and me on Spotify. Shut the fuck up, Neil. Nobody gives a damn anymore. Now there's other artists that I'm going to take my music off too, unless you take Joe Rogan off. Jesus, people. Shut the fuck up.
Bye, Felicia.
Exactly. And, especially Neil Young. I mean,
give him
like
a 2-week suspension. Shit.
I like his music, but damn, what a whiner. Shut the hell up, dude. You hypocrite. Rocking in the free world, except for, I don't want to have to listen to somebody else's opinion. It's not that free of a world, apparently.
No, it's not. Tommy says, hey, Rob, they were doing a bomb maneuver on Lake George today.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. That may be what I heard. Yeah. Yeah, whatever, the whole ivermectin thing. I took it and it helped me. So that's all the proof I need. I had 103 temp and my oxygen levels was in the dump, and I took my first round of ivermectin, and within 4 hours my temperature came down to normal, and so did my oxygen level didn't go back to normal, but it went from 82 to like 92. And I was on death's edge. So, it's all the proof I need. Whatever. I mean, the drug's been on the market for years. It's been safe, proven safe and effective. And now they want to say, I ain't taking a horse dewormer pill. Whatever. Shit worked.
Exactly.
That's why they don't want people talking about it, because it works.
That's why, yeah, they're pulling everybody down that talks about it.
Yep. For spreading
Misinformation.
misinformation. How is it misinformation if I took it and it worked for me? It might not work for you. It might not
Because
work.
it's cheap. You
Yeah.
didn't pay enough for it to be
Exactly.
real information.
Yeah, and it's funny, when I got it, it cost me $14, and my brother and his son just got it. It cost them $200 for the same thing. So yeah, somebody's making money on it now.
It's sick.
Taking their jobs, taking their money.
Our country. Do you have another one?
Yep. Computer models predict collapse of society by 2040. Hey, no kidding.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
we've got the 2030 project, with the big Vanguard and all those guys.
Yeah, our society is going to collapse. Really? I had no clue. A prediction from the 1970s has since been corroborated by independent researchers. Predicting the future is not an easy thing to do, but carefully analyzing what has happened in the past, it is possible to at least make an educated guess at what might happen in the years to come. Back in the 70s, scientists of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology combined data from multiple sources concerning population, resource usage, and economic factors to calculate the most likely time that modern civilization will experience a full societal collapse. The futuristic at the time date they came up with was the year 2040. Not so futuristic nowadays, is it? I remember when 2000 seemed like future, like Jetsons or something, when I was a kid. While it might seem easy to dismiss their findings out of hand, other studies were conducted in 2009 by a completely different team of researchers to determine whether or not the original estimate was still accurate. Worryingly, they concluded that the original findings were almost exactly on course some 35 years later. It's important to recognize that its predictions have not been invalidated and, in fact, seem quite on target, they wrote. We're not aware of any model made by economicists that is as accurate over such a long time span. The results were later corroborated a third time just last year by Dutch sustainability researcher Goya Harrington, who found that economic growth could come to a halt by the end of this decade. Not all is lost, however. The key to finding any study is that we will still have a chance to align with a scenario that does not end in collapse. With innovation in business, along with new developments by governments and civil society continuing to update, the model provides another perspective on the challenges and opportunities we have to create a more sustainable world. Yeah, I mean that, computer models and all can predict everything, but the one thing they can't really predict is human nature.
Let's say free will and change and all that stuff goes into it.
Yeah. So, again, it's another warning where,
It's worst case.
get your shit together, man.
It's worst case. They're giving worst case and pray for the best, prep for the worst.
Yep.
But I'm seeing the house of cards starting to kind of fall a little bit.
Yeah.
People turning on each other. It's kind of like at the end of Big Brother or something, and there's like a team. It's like, but then we're down to 5.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the whole push, the whole green push, it's a great idea, and the whole push for electric vehicles, I mean, it's a good idea. Is it really possible though? Yeah, I mean, sure, I think it's possible, but is it possible, like, in the next 5 years to be all electric? I mean, there's a shitload of cars around the earth that run on gas. where are they all going to go? And then, I mean, there's wind power, and you start digging into the whole thing about, those huge, wind turbines and stuff. I mean, those things are enormous. And when they break, they go to the windmill graveyard, which is a chunk of land, and it's all this crap, all these electrical parts and pieces. And is that really good for the planet too, to pile those things up and bury them? I mean, everything's got its downsides.
You see those turbines that they're putting out like in the ocean? They're huge.
Yeah. And it's what's sad, there was a guy called Nikola Tesla that figured out how to make free power way back in the day. And he was pretty much snuffed out. And the government came and took all of his ideas. Because you can't make no money on no free power.
No, you can't. So this article is theory. This is just someone's opinion, in my opinion. Like, we know how animals act when things are weird. I've told y'all how my cats can predict an earthquake, 2.5 or higher in a 30-mile radius. And they're always right. Dogs, sense things and this and that. However, this article says that dogs will know apocalypse is coming first and try to warn us, says an expert.
They're the ones that predicted 2040.
So, Dr. Cameron Carlson of the Zombie Research Society says Brits should listen to their pooches because he believes their powerful senses mean they will know that the undead are coming. He said if your dog starts acting a little... Okay, and right off, if this hasn't happened yet, you don't know exactly how they would act yet. You're just theorizing. So if your dog starts acting a little strange, then you better follow their lead and get suspicious yourself. Dr. Carlson said that their powerful sense mean they will be able to smell the undead a mile off, maybe even before the first one rises. I had that double screenshot. Dr. Carlson said the one animal that we would see giving us signs about what to do would be dogs. Dogs are extremely sensitive to changes in their environment and changes in the state around them. Since we are in contact with dogs so much at the time we change any environment, anytime change in any environment is going to set them off. He also reckons they could be able to sniff out a zombie virus way before the dead start walking, thanks to their powerful sense of smell. Changes in atmospheric pressure and natural phenomena carry out odors that only our furry friends can pick up. Dude, I think we'd smell a zombie. Many dog lovers agree that their four-legged friends possess a sixth sense, a stronger than human gut feeling when something feels off. Pooches are more open to trusting that gut feeling and will warn us of an imminent an invasion through their behavior. Most could start acting stressed or scared at the start of a zombie apocalypse, according to the doctor. He added, even if you're looking at small dogs, like even Chihuahuas and Pomeranians, you notice a change in their demeanor. They'd still change, whether or not they knew something was going on. Other animals can be helpful indicators of change too. He said even birds can alert you to danger. He's continued, birds change their flight patterns slightly based on their surrounding environment. They won't go to certain areas, so you'll see the birds beginning to flock away from danger when an apocalypse is coming. Of course, if they're scavengers, that's a different story. Scavengers will go towards an area that's rich in food. Dr. Carlson warns Brits the best way to survive a zombie apocalypse is to wait for your pooch to start acting strange, but to build on survival skills now.
Yeah, I think animals, dogs, cats, animals, birds. Like Barry Hod says, elephants.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I think animals can definitely sense things, when the weather starts to change, even before it starts to change, I can tell my dogs, they know.
When certain planets align and stuff happens, they act different.
Yeah.
And when we have solar storms, they act different.
Yeah.
I read something kind of interesting on birds yesterday, that when they migrate, they use the Earth's magnetic field as like stop signs and stuff to like find their ways. And
Yeah. And I always wonder, when you see like whales and dolphins, porpoise or whatever, like a bunch of them like beach themselves, it's like, what's screwing them up? Is it something, some weird thing in the water, some weird vibe in the water? Is it some parasite that they pick up that makes them go goofy? Who knows?
temperature change, and they're having to move for food.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know Barry's got birds.
Your cats just lay there like normal.
Yeah, cats are just like, yeah, whatever. Even when I had cats, I mean, I could tell when something was up with them by the way they acted.
And I've got sick, so I had more of it. Out of that, it's like, okay, like 4 or 5 of them are acting like this, and these ones are not. And so it's kind of like the control group and the other ones. And I get freaked because like when they all start doing something weird, and then if the indoor cats are doing, it's like, okay, why are all the cats wigging out? What are they feeling?
Yeah.
Like they're picking up on something.
I remember my grandparents had a big golden retriever. Damn dog was 90, 100 pounds. And like during a thunderstorm, I mean, the dog would flip out. But what was weird is before it even ever started thundering or storming or anything, the dog would go and it would literally like break down the bathroom door if it had to, and it would go get in the bathtub. I don't know. The bathtub felt safe for her, but yeah, I could always tell like if we were going to get weird weather because the damn dog would go get in the bathtub.
Now, isn't that a spot that you go to in a hurricane? Like, is that one of the spots they tell you to go to?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, cats are good. I think dogs are good at detecting spirits and stuff too.
Yeah.
I think animals definitely know. Who was that? Rob Guttrow or somebody that was on Jason's show that was talking about that. Like I've seen my dogs, even dogs when I was a kid, I've seen my dogs that I have right now act weird. And especially like after my mom passed, they would like get up and like be looking at the room, the door to her old room, and they would just be acting really weird or growling or barking or something. And I think it was Rob Guttrow that said animals normally go off their sense of smell with people or other like my dogs can be just dead asleep, and if a raccoon or something comes in the backyard, it'll wake them up out of a dead sleep. They'll go barking and hauling ass to the door because they know ahead of time that there's an animal in the yard, you know. But with spirits, he said they can't smell them, so that's why they sometimes
Oh
act,
yeah.
you know, they act surprised or startled because they can see them but they can't smell them, and it kind of freaks them out, which kind of makes sense, I guess.
And wasn't that the time also you had that increase in the shadows in your door in your
Yeah,
workroom?
yeah,
The one cat was staring at the wall the other night, looking down the hall, you know, where the experiences and all that happened.
yeah.
And like the day before that, she had done it, and then there's like weird, you know, it's a weird spot, but she'll just sit there and stare. And then that was the night that I had the creepy crowley on the wall.
Yeah, that was weird.
So I thought, I wonder if she saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a bunch of experiences with animals that, you know, they knew something was up. Like that, the one time I've talked about where I was up at my brother's house years and years and years ago. You know, I don't get scared very often, but that night scared the living crap out of me. And before anything started happening, the cat was the first thing to like alert me that something was weird was going on, because the cat was just normal, and all of a sudden it was like, you know, doing that weird, like something was like over its head, and it was freaking out and started making weird noises, and that's when it ran into the wall. And then all hell started breaking loose, and Rob's ass left the premises. Rob
Has left the building.
left the building with the lights on and the TV on and shit cooking on the stove, and there I just left. I'm like, damn place can burn down for all I care. I'm out of here.
Makes me think of like that ghost town city I wanted a bunch of us in the collective to collectively buy at
Yeah.
that point, remember?
Yep.
And like people just like literally abandoned their house, everything, sandwiches on the tables and stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody knows why they left, but there was like a downtown, and I'm like, yeah, we can each have a house. We can each have a storefront to do our like craft, and I wanted all of us to have our own, you know, collective.
Yeah, that I think about that often.
It's like get, you know, in those like ghost town places like that, and just have that be your little world.
Then you have that in the back of your mind. Why did everybody just get up and leave? But yeah, like that night there, I got up and left. And it was one, because I was scared, and two, I had an overwhelmingly extremely strong feeling that if I didn't leave, something horrendous was going to happen.
Like that burning gut feeling.
Yeah. I remember getting back to my apartment. I called my mom and I'm like, hey, I just left my brother's house and the lights are on, the door's open, the TV, there's food cooking on the oven. You can do what you want, but I ain't going back up there.
Your mom always has to go. It's almost like Norman Bates's mom. Like,
Yeah.
she's got to go and
Yeah.
unfix the furniture and.
Yeah. I know. Paranormal mama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, whatever. I'm not dealing with it. I didn't know who else to call that would go up there, so I called my mom. Like, hey, something weird, just really, really weird just happened. And I'm just telling you, the place is wide open, lights, everything's on.
So you send your mom into it.
Yep, I sent my mom in there. She kicked ass.
You left and sent your mom.
Yep. I can say that was one of the only really, like, one of the times I just really freaked out. I don't know, man.
Did you feel more like it was like something bad, like a danger to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense.
And it was like nothing was out of the, I'm up there like hanging out with my girlfriend. We're watching a movie, which wasn't a scary movie or anything. It's just, some like comedy or something, and
Making
uh,
some food.
making some food and, you know, hanging out. And all of a sudden, shit went way south, like out of the blue.
And not the South you thought.
No, we ain't talking flip flops and rum drinks. Like way south and down. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but something was on the roof making all these bumping noises, and like when I saw the cat run into the wall and have a bloody face, I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm out of here. And it's weird. Just I was talking to the girl that I was up there with. I was talking to her just like a week or two ago, and I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do some podcasts, and we've shared some really weird experiences together. Like and she's like not all up on a bunch of ghost stuff. She's like, no." Like she'll watch the show sometimes. She comes in, her name's Patricia when she comes in the chat room. And yeah, we start doing the ghost boxes and stuff, and she's out of here. She'll stick around for the funny stuff, but no, she ain't all about sitting up with the dead.
Not down with the dead.
No, not at all. And crazy, she was my girlfriend for 7 years, but but yeah, I was like, yeah, you got to come on. We got to do some podcasts together because we've shared some weird experiences. We were in Costa Rica one year, and we went to bed, and we both had the same exact nightmare, or whatever, vivid dream, whatever you want to call it, a hellish dream, and we both dreamed the same thing, and we could describe it to each other, and what we saw the same thing. And I don't know, it's pretty weird.
In your dream?
Yeah. And it was one of those dreams that felt real. And I mean, we both woke up like, freaking out. She was like, I had the worst nightmare. And I'm like, so did I. I just had the worst nightmare. We were talking about it, and we realized that we both dreamed the exact same thing.
Were you guys both in each other's dream?
Yeah, I guess. I know we both.
That's almost like a lucid dream.
Yeah, I know we both saw the same. It was this demon-esque looking, weird, crazy thing that we saw, and we could describe it to a T to each other.
Your succubus?
I don't know. There was no pleasure involved in it. I can say that.
Well, maybe because you were with your girlfriend.
Could be. Yeah, it was not fun. It was disturbing enough where I didn't want to go back to sleep even the next night. So I was kind of freaked out about it.
Those dreams can get you. I keep catching myself in the side camera, and I look so tired.
Yeah, I don't know what the odds of that are, but we definitely beat them that night.
Well, I'm out of articles. I've got a little astrology stuff, unless you've got another article.
Nope, I'm done.
Is it really already?
Yeah, it is.
Wow. This week's just been so crazy. All this insane stuff, and tomorrow I'll be able to straighten out. My mind has I've just been in slow lane.
I've been in a slow lane. I've been riding a short bus all week.
All week. So today is Embolic, and that is from February 1st to February 2nd. Embolic is a pagan holiday celebrated from February 1st through sundown February 2nd, based on a Celtic tradition. For Christians, it is the feast day of St. Bridget, Ireland's matron saint. It is about the halfway point between the winter solstice and spring equinox. You can honor using herbs and dried flowers, a special stone or crystal, even a prayer or wish for the future on a tiny piece of paper. You can also make a wish or meditate on a candle. Choose the color of your choice, carve sigils according to your wish. So if you want, money, carve money signs, and if you want love, hearts, magic star, make up your own, meditate on it, and then light it and make your wish. Make your wish and light it. And you do that on the evening of February 1st for Night of the Sacred Flame. And that was that's my altar back there behind the picture. Tonight's moon phase, we are in the waxing crescent phase. We're at 3.6% illuminated, and the moon sign in Pisces. Upcoming next full moon is in 13 days, and that will be the snow moon. Today, I keep having to salivate. The moon is moon conjuncts Jupiter, aligning us with the universe and its higher vibrations. And so they're combining the fact that it's also the 2222 portal. Oh, I missed 222 today.
Yep.
Second month also. So it brings the best outcomes in different areas of our life. Love life, career, finances, positive energy, good fortune, healing, enlightenment, soul alignment, peace, love, joy, fulfillment, acceptance, happiness, abundance of blessings, divinely guided, our whole reality shifting in our highest good with long-term benefits. Those almost a proverbial. It's also a time of extreme shift. And this one's also mentioning about the same types of stuff. Supercharged energy portal. And again, they mention the same things. If you didn't make your wish last night, you can still do it tonight. The numerology code activates. The code initiates a thinning of the veil between the different dimensions. This is an ideal time to manifest and practice in numerology to represents balance, harmony, cooperation, all those things we said. The portal peaks on 2222, but will remain open until about the 5th. So I did a good meditation last night. I did a nice, good, ritual. I had a beautiful flame going, and it's very nice and peaceful. Do you not attend this one talking about the portal? They're recommending not to attempt to open doors that you're not ready for. Secrets can be liberating, but also deadly. Magic is very, very intense. Tonight, be ready to move forward. Remember, do not unlock doors if you are not ready. So that's what we got going on this week. And, Venus went direct the other day. I think Mercury is going direct on the tomorrow, perhaps. We still have 2 more Mercury's to get us this year, but that kind of tug of war between our hearts and our minds and everything should even out after that.
Be nice to get a little coasting time in, you know.
It was slack time. I'm feeling good about this one though. I've got some reasons why I feel like this is a good one already. So I'm staying positive about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, Barry. And we've missed you too, but we understand. And like I always say, better late than never.
Yep. Yeah, that's a trip. Yeah, I had my aunt pretty much lived to be 100. My granddad lived to be 98. My mom was 92. But yeah, I remember talking to my aunt, and it was when she was like 99. And, you know, it's cool to live that long. But at the same time, you know, I'm talking to her, and, you know, it was always cool to talk to my grandparents or to my aunt, you know, because they could tell me stories of how things used to be, you know, back in the day and whatnot. And, you know, I mentioned something about my aunt to that, you know, thinking, and she was like, yeah, she goes, or there's the other side to where, you know, most everyone that I've grown up with, all my friends, all my relatives, they're all gone. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, there is that side of it. My grandparents, you know, the way they passed, it sucked, you know, and my mom, you know, just seeing her kind of go downhill, especially towards the end, that was pretty brutal. My aunt did it right, though. She lived to be 100, and she went into the hospital, and the doctor was like, when's the last time you saw the doctor? And she was like, 1942. He says, are you allergic to anything? And she says, yes, I am, doctors. And, you know, she still had every, you know, her brain was going strong. She just pretty much gave out. And, you know, she told me, she's like, I'm just tired. I'm done. And that was pretty much it. She wasn't kidding. You know, no long, prolonged going downhill. She was just like, I'm done. And she just, a few days later, she passed.
Well, some people hang on, you know, because they either want to see a person, a baby. My friend's grandma actually was like ready to go any second. The baby was late. Grandma wanted to see it. Baby was late 2 days. Grandma still was there. The baby they were able to bring in to see grandma. Grandma saw the baby, smiled as they walked out. She died.
Yep.
Animals will do that too. They'll hang on till their people come.
Yep. Yeah, like, you know, towards the end of my mom, you know, my aunt came over here and she was hanging out with her, and, you know, I went out of the room and I came back in, and she was talking to my mom, and, you know, my mom was kind of out of it, but she was talking to her anyways. And my aunt told me, she was like, you know, she goes, I just told her that, you know, you were going to be okay, and your brother was going to be okay, and everybody was going to be okay. And, you know, for her not to worry. And it was like 2 days later, she was gone.
And she had been talking, like her escort or family members, whoever was there, I believe, was probably
Yeah.
waiting for her for a while.
Yep. Yep. They were probably all standing around going, come on, what are you waiting for? Kind of missed the train. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird how that happens.
I'll be like, can we speed it up?
Yeah, really.
Won't know till in that position.
Yeah, I can believe that, Barry. I still feel my mom around here, time. Not as much as I did, but yeah, from time to time, for sure. You know, still my dogs will be just sitting on the couch, all chilled out, you know, asleep, whatever, and every once in a while they'll just freak out and look at her door, you know, to the room she's asleep in, and I don't know what they're looking at, you know, but
My dad shows up when I'm in the most despair. Like, I think he's always doing what he does, but like when I internally need him the most is when I get
Yep.
the signs and the things happen, and it's like a remind they're there, you know, they're there.
yeah,
Might not always make themselves known,
yeah,
but we get, you know, there's a lot of crazy things that just randomly
yeah,
just makes you laugh. You know, it's just it makes you smile because you know something divine, you know, made that occur.
yeah. And there is sometimes where I'm like, oh shit, I hope my mom ain't watching.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
hear
like
about
I
this.
hope that you know that you know when to turn around for a minute.
Yeah,
I know it did go by quick, and I feel like I've just been in complete slow motion.
yeah, Barry. You know, I've definitely had dreams with my mom in it. You know, where I can hear her voice and stuff. The thing that was really almost haunting me was for a good month or two, I was having dreams about her, but it wasn't like good ones. It was basically her dying over and over and over. And I'm like, what the fuck does this mean? You know, it was really kind of mentally taxing me pretty hard because I'd wake up, you know, and it was like I have to relive the whole thing over again. And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm done with. I don't know what the meaning of this is, but I'm kind of done with it. But I've also had, you know, dreams where they just felt like visitation dreams. And the last dream that I had where she passed away in my dream was truly bizarre. Because I was at the old house that I grew up in, and it was like we as a family were all moving out. And of course my mom died in the dream. And I'm like going through a bunch of stuff that she had that was outside in the driveway for some reason in these boxes. And they were like these clear plastic boxes. And for some reason, I opened up one of the boxes, and it was full of GoPro cameras. And I'm like, what the hell? Did I smoke PCP before I went to bed? Why am I dreaming this? I don't know what or where that came from.
Maybe so. She died. Maybe you wanted cameras to communicate with her.
And maybe, I mean, I've got, you know, I've got several like GoPro cameras. But yeah, this was like a whole box like full of them, like all brand new. Just like, what? That why what the hell? Where did that come from?
When I get dreams, like I've had a few visitations, and my mom, like we both had one. I told you, like within a week, and they're very, very similar. Um, it's always like a weird thing with like like he'll talk to you, like it's like talk through the eyes.
Yeah.
But when I have a dream, and you know that he's not there, but he is, like in the visitation ones. But then like when I have a regular one, like when I used to dream about him at the hospital, like running up the outside of the stairs in his robe, like because I think we get stuck on like the last, kind of pieces of things. And it's like we knew, or he'd turn around and like just walk off. Like he would be there, it'd be like with family, but he would turn and walk off and go. And it's like we knew, he wasn't really there, so he had to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I have this picture of my stepdad. I mean, my real dad died when I was 4 years old, and my mom remarried. I think I was 9 or 10. So my stepdad was basically like, it was my dad that I grew up with. I don't remember that much of my biological real dad, because like I say, he died when I was 4. So I remember a few things, but my stepdad, of course, I mean, my whole life I grew up and he was around. So he was like my dad. It was weird because like when he passed, I was at a fish market, getting some fish and some clams or something. And there's a car wash like next to it, kind of over from it, but next door to it. And I came back out and I was getting in the car and I kind of looked up, and over like by the back of the car wash, I looked over and I would swear I saw my stepdad standing there, and he just kind of was like looking at me and he kind of waved. And I was just like, what up, And it was so real that I like drove the car over there to see if there was somebody back there. And of course, when I got back there, there's nobody there, but it wasn't ghostly looking. It looked like, looked like my dad standing there waving at me. And, he just kind of turned around and walked away. And like I say, when I went over there, there was nobody there. And I mean, it wasn't like I had to go very far, by the time it was like seconds by the time I got there. So if he was walking away, if there was somebody over there walking away, I would have seen him somewhere. But it's kind of funny because out in the living room, I have a picture of my stepdad, and the picture is of him like walking away. You don't see the front of him, you just see the back of him. It's him and the cat, who's also passed away. It's him and the cat walking away. So I found that picture and put it in a frame, and I'm like, that's like the perfect picture of my dad. Most people would think it's weird, but to me it means something, So and yeah, Debbie, that was his name, Bubby. But yeah, the dreams I was having about my mom it was hitting me kind of rough.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just me, like subconsciously, feeling guilty, like, oh, what could I have done? But, I mean, when you're taking care of somebody and they pass away, you're always going to ask yourself, what could you have done better? What could you, which in reality, nothing really. But, there is that guilty feeling, I guess, that you might have.
Yeah. And it was hard too, because I think the fact that her memory, it was a different relationship, kind of even like
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, Royal. My real dad, he used to own a gas station too. And one of the pictures I have of him is at the gas station. He used to own a Sinclair gas station. If anybody remembers those.
Nope.
Tells you how long ago that was.
I don't
Hey,
think I've heard that.
You weren't even born then. Yeah.
Looking at Sunday. I think there's a medium coming on Sunday. On Paranormal Soup. There was a new South Park tonight. Yes, special guest Erica Bowser Hain. Psychic medium.
Uh-huh.
Don't know if she's going to be doing phone calls or readings or anything, but it's always fun to meet a new medium.
Yep. Yeah, Kim remembers Sinclair. I remember the dinosaur. That's like a few of the things that I remember from my dad was that, that he did have the gas station, and I had several like little stuffed Sinclair dinosaurs. And I remember I was at my grandparents' house, and he came home after work and gave me this little guitar. Maybe it was like a ukulele, but I remember it being, to me it was a guitar. And it wasn't like a, like a cheap plastic one, kid's toy. It was actually a real, little kid's guitar. So maybe that's why I've always had guitars. I don't know. My dad instilled it in me to be a musician.
Could be.
Live the life of a loser. Be a musician.
Mine instilled in me militia.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, Royal Man. Time flies. Time flies. It's going to be the 19th of this month is going to be a year since my mom's passed away. And I'll just say
oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'll say that first Thanksgiving and first Christmas pretty much sucked.
So I was telling Jeff too with his mom. I said it's like the first year of like going through everything, your birthday, like all these different things without it's like, okay, now I've passed a year. And you feel kind of screwed up still for, good 3, 4, 5 years. And you kind of feel a little different, but this stuff hits you and it don't go away.
No, it never goes away. Hell, I drive through sometimes I drive through the cemetery where all my aunts and uncles and mom and dad and my real dad, they're all buried there. And sometimes I just drive by, but every time I drive by, I always like, what's up? I always say hi to them, but yeah, it sucks when you go there and it's like, wow, it's like my whole family's like pushing up daisies here.
I like though that they're together like that though.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I feel like they're together out of their butt,
Yeah. I mean, I know they're not there.
They're yeah.
Yeah.
I like that they're together like that.
Yeah. But anyways.
So maybe next week we can do it. Or I was gonna try to figure out an experiment for tonight, but it's been one of those weeks.
Yeah.
But maybe next week we'll put something together for ITC. Do a little experiment. If anybody has something they think is interesting, like a unsolved mystery type thing or a case or something that you think we could get some good questions out of and answers, and you want to send us the video or article on it,
Yeah.
we could put it together. And there's people, several people that want to come on to talk about experiences. And like I was telling Barry, she's got some stuff too much to type in here too.
Yeah.
Hang out sometime and share stories. So we'll come on panel sometime and talk and chat it up. Talk about it.
Barry's cool.
Yeah.
I met her way back in the day on vaping shows when I used to do a vape show and all.
And so anybody, if you have like a lot of stuff that, good experiences, and if you just, want to come on and talk, however long you want to talk about it, or if just half an hour and then stay and kick it for the rest, or
we can make a party of it.
yeah. So
I think I
don't
can
be
have up
afraid.
to, like, I don't know, eight other people in here. I don't know how it'll work, but that's what StreamYard says I can have.
Can have a paranormal talk night, or if anybody wants to do it like separate. But those things are always open. We keep things open. We plan the show the day of.
Yep.
Got to get those current events.
Yeah. Well, cool. Y'all have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you Sunday. If anything weird happens, make sure and write a note down so you can tell us about it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we'll have to get you on here one night, Debbie. I know you got all kinds of stuff.
Oh, for sure.
I'm using StreamYard right now. Barry. Works pretty good. It's been a pretty stable platform. Although they're adding a bunch of new stuff. And I've noticed it has a few hiccups here lately. But overall, it's been pretty good. You got to pay for it. It's about $20 a month, but it won't cost y'all nothing to come on. So cool. Yeah, I mean, for anybody that wants to come on, I basically just send you a link, and you can click on that link, and it'll bring you in the show. As long, the only thing you got to have is, a decent, like a webcam or something. I mean,
or you can get from your phone.
Yeah, and
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, a good Wi-Fi connection. That's the main thing. But other than that, we are out of here. It's after 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm going to go take a nice hot shower.
I'm going to...
Yep, I might have to do that too. All right, we'll see y'all Sunday night, Paranormal Soup. And other than that, we'll see you again next Wednesday for another episode of Weird Wednesday. Good night. Sleep tight.
Good night.